try to do a good job here because, doing a good job basically shows respect to the audience, and I think that's very important. I want to encourage you, if you haven't subscribed, that please consider subscribing to this channel. We're trying to build up this channel so that it can become a strong channel where we can discuss issues in a more civilized, informed, respectful way. I think that's very important. This particular segment, of course, we're starting off where we're talking about Zuma's troubles. Rendier raises two issues here. One issue is the rape charges against Zuma. And he tells us that, how can somebody who's a rapist be elected as a president? Now, we do know that Zuma is not a rapist, right? The judge dismissed those rape charges. And so there was no credibility in that charge. And in fact, some people believe that that woman was used politically to discredit Zuma. Probably it's important to point out here that not using a condom and having a shower personally would not get into this kind of a situation without using a condom. And I think I just want to encourage everybody that it's very, very important to use a condom. You have to protect yourself. In fairness to Zuma, I mean, obviously, I suppose he was in the jungle, and in the jungle there's no condom. He used the shower, I suppose. I suppose there was some kind of a shower there in the jungle, so he used the shower to mitigate against the risk. And in fairness to him, I mean, he did use the shower and he didn't catch the virus, so he did well for himself, right? And I'm not suggesting there that you should rely on the shower, right? But I mean, he did well. But we still have to shower anyway. Even if you use the condom, we still have to shower. Check this out. On the aspect of corruption charges, we know that the corruption charges also were dismissed by the judge, right? Very important. They were dismissed by the judge because there was no evidence against Zuma in this case. And I would like actually to make a video on this aspect of defense and corruption charges so that at least we can have a bit more information on that, but probably I'll do that another time. Corruption charges were dismissed by the judge because really, there was no evidence. The Scorpions did make an announcement that they think they have they have more evidence today to charge him, right? So, and Zuma has responded by saying that if they have evidence, then they should charge him, right? We know that he has not been charged yet. Zuma has challenged the search and seizure aspects of his case in the Constitutional Court, and we also do know that the Scorpions actually responded to that challenge by filing their own affidavits. But this was only filed 2 days after the deadline. They're trying to get the judge to condone this late filing. If the judge doesn't accept that, then it doesn't accept that, and I mean, this case may not even materialize until for a very long time. The Scorpions have been in this case for like more than 7 years. I mean, a long time, because I think back in 1999 there was investigation into this whole question of arms and stuff like that, and I mean, they have been in this case for a long time, and they were never able to produce a credible evidence. If in 7 years they couldn't produce credible evidence, how can they have a credible evidence in 7 days? It doesn't make sense to me. If in 7 years they couldn't produce a credible evidence, how can they produce a credible evidence in 7 days after Zuma was elected? Anyways, so that's that as far as the corruption charges are concerned. Maybe just give you a little bit of a background here. We do know that I think back in 1998 there was a defense review that which the government used as a basis to approve the acquisition of new helicopters, arms and so forth. They announced that they had, like, I suppose 4 bidders that they produced a short list of bidders that were going to be considered for contracts. And I think there were 3 consortiums and 1 arms manufacturer there. I think there was a German frigate consortium, and there was also a German submarine consortium, and there was also the Augusta, company, and there was as well, I think the third consortium, or the fourth bidder was British Aerospace and Saab. So they formed a consortium. And so for many of you who use Saab cars, you know, so you're not clean. You're all part of this situation here. Check this out. I think what happened later is that the actual company, the contract was won by a company called BAE Systems. Now, let me point out here, BAE Systems is actually a merger, or is a result of a merger between three companies. We're talking British Aerospace, and we're talking of the Italian Marconi, as well as the defense subsidiary of the General Electric. So they came together and they formed something like over $16 billion worth of a company, right? So, and that became BAE Systems, which was formed, I believe, in November of 1999, actually 30th of November 1999, if I remember very well. So 30th November 1999, that's when BAE Systems was formed, which is a British company, and it is the third largest defense company in the world. And there are many other defense companies on the planet, of course, like, you know, General Dynamics, you know, Aerojet. BAE is the third largest one, and that's the company that's involved with respect to the allegations of corruption with Zuma. So that's basically where it is. On the aspect of the uneducated, this is very much, you know, apartheid era type of mentality that you know, black people are uneducated. Education is actually, or intelligence for that matter, is an intellectual monopoly of the white South Africans. You see, nothing could be further from the truth. Obviously, statistically, we know that there's a greater number of educated white South Africans vis-a-vis black South Africans because of apartheid. All that is changing. For example, in 2007-2008 budget, Trevor Manuel announced 105.5 billion rands for the Department of Education, a lion's share of the total budget. That I did come across what they call South African graduate statistics, right? And then this one covered a period of, I think, from 1991 to let's say 1998. So, so as a mathematician myself, it's not hard really to be able to make sense of numbers. So in 1991, the university graduates, the black graduates represented 16% of the white graduates. So you can see that it was a very small fraction of white graduates. But by 1998, the black graduates represented 47% of the white graduates. So black graduates represented 47% of the white graduates. So, which really shows that there has been an increase on the white graduates. Statistics is interesting that actually there seems to be a decline. There seems to be a negative growth, right? In 1991 we had 2,283 white graduates, and by 1998 we had something like 2,006 graduates. You see, so what's happening is that there's a negative growth in the graduates of white South Africans, whereas there's a strong, vibrant, positive growth in the graduates of black South Africans.